what is the purpose of inline function? So we already learned in this previous thing that when a function is called like here, what will happen? The program control will be automatically flowing when this function is called. The program control will automatically check where this function is defined. And here the function is defined, that is whatever inside these parameters it get added and the output is returned. Right. So here what will happen? The number 1 will be copied to here, number 2 will be copied to here, and the result will be stored in the add operation, and we have to see this add and then return 0. But in the case of inline function, what will happen is this, that is what will happen, the compiler replaces the function called with the corresponding function code. That is, here there will be no control transfer, of course. There will be no any control transfer like we learned previously. Here the thing is like this. For example, here we have to multiply two numbers, and this is a function that is declared inline. Function name is float, is the return type of the function, and mul multiplication. Instead of this we are writing it as mul, and this is the function name. Mul is the function name and these are the arguments. And here we are writing it as return x star y. Okay, return x star y, that is whatever the parameters inside this function and it is get multiplied. But we know that in the main function there will be something called as mul ab, and here a is given this value, b is given this value. That means here the function is calling, right, mul a comma b, and here we can't see any something like a star b. But what will happen is that when the function is called like this thing will be, this code will be copied here. This will be mul ab will be replaced by this codes, enter this codes, that means the copied. Okay, so these codes are copied or replaced by this section. Here there is no flow of control, of course, and it is simply or it has much less complicated than the previous functions, okay, without using the inline function. Here we can see that in the line itself the program code is copied, and here instead of mul ab these things are copied. Then what will happen? Automatically this, instead of this we can write it as return x star y, and the multiplication is occurring and there is no any program control transfer, of course. Now about the default argument, okay, default arguments. So default arguments. What is this default arguments means? You know the word default means what? As such, right? That means you know what is arguments. Arguments means what? Whatever inside this function in this bracket which is passed or which is multiplied, which is operator. So these are the arguments, right? And C++ have some set of default arguments here. Okay, when there is when we are not giving any values also, then also there are some values already defined. Okay, the compiler looks at the prototype to see how many arguments a function uses and alert the program for possible default value. That means when some values are not seen there, there will be some default values. Okay, and this compiler will automatically check this default value. Let us consider an example. Here we can see that float amount, that is this is a function return type, function name is the amount, and here there are three arguments like float principal, int period, and float rate equal to 0.15. Here this is the default set, that is the rate is default set by default set as 0.15. Okay, so if we are calling like this, that is value equal to amount 5007, that means what will happen, the principal, this is the amount, right, this is the function name, and when this function is called, what will happen, this principal will get the value 5000, the period will get the value 7, and the rate, we know that there is no any value for the rate, so by default 0.15 will be taken. Okay, so that is the 0.15 will be taken as the rate. So this is the default value. And look at this case here, this 5000, that is principal, that is the amount is the function name, and what 5000 will give to principal, 5 to into period, and instead of float rate will be 0.12, that means we have already a value 0.15, and it will be discarded, and 0.12 will be selected. Okay, so that means, and one important point to note is that only the trailing arguments can have the default value. That is, the trailing arguments have the default values. Okay, so this is the default arguments. That means by default are already available values, and if in case of some parameters, in case of some values are absent, these default values can be taken, but it has the less priority than the our on values or our on calling values. Okay. Now about the function overloading. So we already know the term overloading means. Overloading means that something which refers to the use of the same thing for the different purpose. We have already learned about the operator overloading. In the operator overloading, for example, the star operator, it is used for the multiplication purpose as well as the pointer operation. So that is the overloading. And what does this function overloading means? That means the function has multiple purpose and same function has multiple purpose. That is the overloading. And this is otherwise known as the function polymorphism in the object-oriented programming. That means in C++. The function polymorphism means what? The C++ permits overloading functions. This means that we can use the same function name to create same function name. Okay, you have to see here, same function name to create functions that perform a variety of different tasks. That means same function, but we can perform variety or different tasks, and this overloading of function is otherwise known as the function polymorphism. Okay, and there will be something that is using the concepts of function overloading, a family of functions with one function name, different argument list in the function call. We already know what is this argument list and what is the function name. There will be one function name and different function calls, or sorry, different argument list will be there. So that is the basic idea about function overloading. That is, there will be the single function name, but the argument list will be different. Here we can see an example, that is the overloaded add function. Very important for your exam point of view or interview skills. That is, what is this function overloading? With an example. Look, add function. Okay, this is the add function which handles the different type of data. And add is the function name, right? And these are the parameters like int a, int b. And here what will be this prototype one? That is, the add is the addition function. Add is the function used for adding. And here there are two parameters like a, b. That means if we are calling like 5, 10, see out, that means we have to display add 5, 10. What will happen? This 5 will pass here, 10 will pass here, right? But in another case like int a, b, c, that means what? Add is the same function, but here we are using the three inputs, right? Add is the same function, but we are using the same add is a function, but here we are using this three types. Okay, three data. And otherwise here int a, b, and sometimes we will use this double type of data. That means the return type of the function may change. Instead of int, we can write it as double add, double a, double b. Otherwise int add, int a, int b. Otherwise int add, int a, int b, int c. Otherwise double add, double p, double q, right? So double r, anything. So the same thing, that is the add is used, but the arguments are changing as well as the data type is changing. So this is the function declaration, function calling.